Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AMHQ Early. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. We could have a top 5 snow event for some major cities with a looming winter storm set to track to the east. Actually, parts of the south are in play, too.
Yes, and I'm Dr. Erika Navarro. And Jen, yeah, we've got a shot for snow in parts of the Northeast as early as tomorrow.
Yes, get ready for some big change.
Winter out in North Dakota, and we are in the potential for perhaps another snowmaker, not only for the upper tier of the U.S., but into the East Coast moving into this weekend. And so this is our jet stream pattern into the late week. And so you can see right here, here's that upper level disturbance that's now making its way into the West Coast. And watch what happens as this disturbance drops into the Central Plains. It'll be strengthening as it does so and bringing all of this colder air down from Canada, which is going to be the main ingredient for this week's snowstorm. It's also going to be able to tap into this Gulf moisture that's down to the south. And with this high pressure that's currently in place, helping to keep these temperatures cold, we are going to have a significant March snowstorm potentially for many of these areas in the south into the late weekend. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the timing for this. Look at this swath of snow. So it's extending further south. So we have places like Sioux Falls, Omaha, even into St. Louis this Saturday in that snow potential. And then places further south, we could see a wintry mix, perhaps some ice, perhaps some sleet. And then moving into Saturday night, that snow is going to continue extending to the east. So places like Charleston, Richmond, even Raleigh, this could be one of your top 10 March snowstorms potentially, because there could be some significant snowfall with this. So this is the U.S. GFS forecast, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now in the models in both the track as well as the accumulation. So you can see a lot of purples down here in the Carolinas. But if we look at the Euro model, it is not as potentially impactful in many areas. So right now, this is what our Weather Channel forecast is looking like. But again, that swath of snow extending, Jen, all the way from the plains into the Carolinas this weekend.
Hey,
well, luckily, it looks like we may be getting a little bit of relief moving into the weekend with some rain back into the forecast. So this is your forecast for the southeast, showing you a fairly nice day. But again, that rain starting to move in as we get into tomorrow. And so Jackson and New Orleans, you potentially have some thunderstorms in your forecast for tomorrow. Atlanta looking fairly nice at 75 and sunny, a very nice day for March. But if we go ahead and take a look later this week into Memphis, you can see here overnight we are again seeing that potential for some thunderstorms. Temperatures are going to be fairly mild into the 60s. But looking ahead to Jackson as well, that thunderstorm potential sticks around into the early weekend. Back into that area, so at least you get the day to celebrate though, right? But take a look at this, Dallas. Friday night and Saturday, there are your thunderstorms coming back in. Temperatures very warm, 74 degrees. But Saturday night, whoa, 45 degrees. That is a 30-degree temperature change in just one day. That is a cold front, my friends. So here we go. Saturday, there's this mid-level disturbance, and we've got these strong upper-level jet stream winds coming in with that jet stream dip that's moving into the country. But we also have this strengthening low-level jet. And again, there's that rotation in the atmosphere, that strong shear as well as moisture, which is helping to fuel this threat into Saturday. So here we go, taking a look at this red area. That is our threat for severe storms. Most of eastern Texas, Louisiana, and parts of western Mississippi in that threat. So we could see some damaging winds, again, lightning, possibly some hail, and can't always outrule the chance for a rotating thunderstorm. Jackson, Mississippi, this is a look at your timing. So you can see Friday here, that's our biggest chance for those thunderstorms. Temperatures right around 73. But again, moving into Saturday night, take a look at this. Almost a 30-degree temperature drop again behind that front. So that rain sticking around into that area and going to be cooling off quite a bit. Birmingham, we're looking at a pretty clear night. Temperatures again 60s, but behind that front on Saturday, we are dropping way down, but definitely some rain in your forecast. Let's go over to Jen. He's below average, Jen.
I love the way that we said it at the beginning of the show. So, January felt more like April, February more like May, right? And now finally March is going to feel more like January.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It looks
all
like winter took a little vacation almost, and now it's coming back for March.
We wrapped up winter, December, January, February, as a top 3 warmest for most cities in the Northeast.
Right.
D.C., it was our 3rd warmest. So the Weather Service actually took a look back at the 1st and 2nd warmest winters on record to see if they got snow after that.
Okay.
And the answer is yes. So can you have snow after a top 3 warmest winter on record? Yes.
Yeah.
It still snows in March, and certainly in D.C. there's the chance for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not out of the question that, March still can be fairly cold. And so here we go. We've got this next system coming in, and with that, it's drawing in all this cold air coming down from Canada, and that cold air in place, as well as that moisture it's going to be able to tap to, is going to be fueling that snow threat for the weekend.
We have some exceptional record-breaking cold actually up in Canada, so some of that is seeping down, getting into the weekend. The question is, does the cold match up with the precip and the moisture, and where does our storm system track? So DC, it's not a guarantee you're going to get snow. For no one really is it a guarantee. We still have a lot of uncertainties, I think, to kind of figure out with this forecast.
Yeah, it looks like the models, they're definitely showing this snow threat, but there's still a lot of uncertainty both in the track and the accumulation with this snow. And it's tough. DC, one of those places that's right on the fringe, but we're looking like this thing is continuing to go south. So St. Louis, Louisville, even down into Raleigh, this could be some of the biggest March snows that you get.
If we look at the model trends over the last 2 days, it has been a further south track to the low pressure. What happens to it when it, heads off the coast? How much moisture does it throw back in? And just how far south does the cold air get? These are all the questions.
Yeah, so places like Nashville, and here you go, Raleigh, you're right on that brink between that wintry mix and snow. So it could be rain, it could be sleet, but you could also get some snow, and again, could be impactful for your March.
The first blizzard of the year Jim Cantori was in this year was in Virginia Beach. And so could they get more snow? There's a possibility of that looking ahead to the weekend. So there's two systems. One is the Thursday, Friday morning kind of system. That's up here. And then we get to the weekend system, Saturday into Sunday. And that's a swath of snow, maybe through the Tennessee Valley. It's possible all the way back down here into the Carolinas or North Carolina. Don't want to group in South Carolina, but again, this is a chance for snowfall coming in.
Exactly. And with March and these temperatures now on the rise and that sun at a higher angle, it's hard to get that accumulation in March, but we're still looking at the potential for accumulation here with this system.
And it gets cold.
Yeah, look at this. 28 degrees New York, Burlington 13.
These are highs.
These are the high temperatures. And then you factor in the wind chill on top of that too, because it'll be windy behind this system. And so cold.
So what's interesting about this cold coming in is, does it set the stage for something else next week? Because the models have a couple somethings off the coast here that we got to keep an eye on next week. Just a little way big tease ahead.
Yeah, exactly, Jen. Well, a snowmobiler is grateful to rescuers this morning after...
It's 29 minutes past the hour. AMHQ Early rolls on. We got a potential winter storm looming, not just one, but a couple for parts of the East Coast, including the potential for some heavy snow, even into the south. There's some mystery, there's some uncertainty with us in the models, and we got it all covered.
Yeah, exactly. But first, we've got another shot for snow tomorrow in parts of the Northeast, Jen, so it's coming.